Four suspects are accused of paying parents to take care of their own kids. And now they're facing nearly 100 felony charges, accused of stealing $4 million. That money was supposed to help low-income Minnesota families pay for childcare and other services. Our Steve Tellier explains what happened and how the state is working to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yasmin Ali owned the business. Her husband, Ahmed Mohammed, ran the day-to-day. Joshua Miller and Jordan Smith handled the billings.
Criminal charges against four.
On Wednesday, all four were charged in what investigators are calling a massive fraud scheme.
The scope of this and the breadth of this fraud, this alleged fraud, is really troubling.
Prosecutors announced the charges next to box after box of evidence. Much of it was seized from two child care centers shut down by the state 18 months ago, one in Minneapolis, the other in St. Paul. Prosecutors say Deco Family Center's real purpose was pilfering public money.
In essence, this scheme was really involved creating a criminal enterprise premised on people getting paid to take care of their own children.
The suspects are accused of hiring mothers as employees and enrolling their children in daycare. They would then falsify pay stubs, and Ali and Mohammed would pocket the resulting state subsidies. The more children in one family, the higher the profits.
This is a harm done not only to the families that are waiting in line for daycare assistance, but it's also a harm done to our broader community, the people who pay for these services.
Prosecutors say the suspects also submitted false Medicaid claims and hid the money they stole, funneling much of it to family members. Two of those suspects are already in custody. Police are actively searching for a third suspect, and the fourth is expected to be in court in January. In the newsroom, Steve Tellier, 5 Eyewitness News.
And this is one of the first cases that has been investigated in part by a new unit within the Minnesota Department of Human Services. It has 4 experienced investigators and a data analyst, all working to find fraud being committed by child care providers or businesses that the state provides with.
A former daycare operator is now in jail while police search for her husband.
The two are charged with defrauding Minnesota taxpayers of more than $4 million. Yasmin Ali, her husband, Ahmed Mohammed, and 2 other men face dozens of charges. They involve daycare and healthcare fraud. Mike Binkley's here with the story. And Mike, you said this has been quite a long investigation.
It sure has. It took more than 2 years. And at this point, it's not clear what this group may have done with the millions. Kept it for themselves or used it for another purpose. The county attorney wouldn't comment on that, but said he is trying to get the money back.
This is just a small sample of the information that was obtained.
Ramsey County Attorney John Choi calls it a complex scheme. The operators of 2 child care centers, one in St. Paul and another in Minneapolis, came up with a plan to fool the state government and take in millions. Minnesota provides child care assistance for mothers who average 20 hours of work a week with an income level that qualifies. The state pays the child care provider directly.
To get the payments, prosecutors say the daycare would recruit young mothers, especially those with several children. If they didn't have jobs, they could go on the daycare's payroll, and they wouldn't have to work nearly as much as the daycare was telling the government.
The defendants provided counties with pay stubs overstating hours that were worked by the mothers. In some cases, no wages were paid to the mothers, but pay stubs were created to make it appear as if wages had been paid.
That money then was going to Yasmin Ali, her husband Ahmed Mohammed, and a third man who helped run the company, Joshua Miller. In just one 10-month period, the group allegedly took in more than $3 million in fraudulent payments. Choi said the taxpayers aren't the only victims, so are those who support the government's safety net.
And it's very troubling and very disheartening to know that there are people in our community who would take advantage of those good intentions of our public.
Choi said the investigation of this one crime led to 2 others. They also found that these 3 and a man named Jordan Smith were involved in a similar scheme involving personal care attendants. They also alleged the group committed tax fraud by not reporting all the profits they made through their illegal activities. Mohammed has a warrant out for his arrest while the others have court dates set. Frank?
Wow. Mike, what happens to some of those moms who allegedly took part in this whole scam?
Well, it's possible more charges could come. I mean, Choi said they went after the 4 biggest players first, but the investigation continues, and yeah, there could be more arrests in the future.
Complex scheme.
It is.
All right, thanks.